Hi, how are you today? Welcome back to our channel. For today's video, we're gonna go ahead and just fuck
okay,
shit
we're recording
up.
now. We're recording.
Okay, damn, I'm sorry.
Shut up.
I didn't know we couldn't have fun, Mom. I went to the doctor and he literally told me like you're not gonna be able to get pregnant. Yeah. Until finally, I said, you know what? I'm done trying.
Put it in God's hands, and He will provide. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Gemini Therapy. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Claudia, and you're tuning in to episode 3.
Woohoo! For today's video, I'm probably not gonna cry. I don't know Miss Pregnant Ma'am here if she might.
Let me just say that yesterday was a very emotional day. I might not have any tears in me left, but I might have some left. So maybe I cry, maybe
you never
I don't
know.
cry.
All right, so for today's episode, we are going to be talking about infertility and our struggles, because that's something that we both struggled with, and then at the end of the day, we both have babies.
Yes, gonna have.
Yes. Well, she's pregnant, but I have 2 babies. So I guess we're just gonna go ahead and just dive right in.
Yeah, but
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I was gonna say.
Sorry.
Okay, go.
So we want to give thanks first of all to Kim from Kim's Creations.
Shout out for our awesome, super cute cups. We posted them on Instagram, so y'all probably already saw them.
I know, we love them. They're so cute. She was so thoughtful. In the last episode, you guys probably heard that we said we drink lemonade because we don't like coffee, we don't like tea. And we drink lemonade, and we had said that we wanted to get like some super cute cups, and she was so thoughtful and so kind to send us these. It does have our logo on it. It says Gemini Therapy 0611, and then on the back of the cup it just says our names. So thank you so much, Kim, for being so kind and so thoughtful, and for always watching.
Yes, thank you, Kim. Also, she said that we only drink lemonade. I mean, that's super true. But if there was a Starbucks here, we'd probably have pink drinks in here, just saying.
True.
We also want to give a shout out. Help me out here. Shout out to our special subscriber and my aunt. She made us this super cute little like frame. What would you call it? Like
it's
a window frame?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It says Gemini Therapy. It's super cute. We wanted to hang it up here, but it doesn't have like the little.
We can buy it and add it.
Yeah, it doesn't have them. So we're going to go get them and then.
Look at how cute it would look, though, if we hung it up. Ay, lower it. That would look so cute. The next on our list is some chairs, because
these are a little rusty.
Taking donations.
All right.
JK.
Maybe we'll buy a cute couch or something.
Eventually.
So,
ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was very loud. Sorry.
First of all, I want to thank you guys so much for all of the comments and all of the support that we received in episode number 2. That was a very, very hard episode for us to film, for me especially. Like it was hard on her too, but that's kind of why we didn't film anything else last week, because I was literally like
emotionally drained.
Yeah, it was.
She literally got to work the next day and she looked, I literally, as soon as she walked in, I was like, you're not okay. And she was like, like I could tell just by looking at her, it was a lot. So
yeah, I can tell you guys that I didn't take myself there. It had been a minute. Like I hadn't put myself in that position in a very long time. You know what, dude? You don't have those lights on.
My spotlight.
You have it on. Yeah. We're having a little technical difficulties real quick because we forgot to turn on one of our lights, but Claudia's doing that for us.
Look at me shining bright to the stars. I just want to mention, like, for real, I did not go to work with makeup today. And Lindsay was like, you're going to record like that. And so I went home and I put on like literally just concealer and mascara. So.
And I just got out of the gym. Like I literally just finished working out, and here I am.
So cute.
You should be proud. But
okay, finish your thanks.
All right. So like I was saying, I want to give you guys thanks because I was really, really hard, and it affected so many people. Like a lot of people were able to put themselves in my shoes, in our shoes, through that one video. And we had people coming up to us like left and right and sending us messages, and we appreciate them and we read them, and we pretty much answer all of them. So I can't say like, even though we don't read them, we're not there yet. We do see them and we try to answer each video. Although on YouTube we didn't reply.
I didn't reply because I felt like it was in my position to reply. It was kind of your video.
Yeah, but I did heart each and every one of them. I just couldn't go and be like, thank you so much, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm telling you guys now. Thank you guys so much for all of that. And I'm back now. I'm okay. I was able to, I went through it. I went through my feelings like we always say, and I'm all right. Okay.
This week we should have 2 videos up, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. So, like we said, we are going to be talking about infertility and our problems and how it affected us. And we got a lot of DMs asking us like to touch base on this subject in particular. So
it was basically about fertility, infertility, and pregnancy. Like everybody wants to know
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do y'all want to know, Thanas? I'm just kidding. This is definitely something that we did want to talk about. However, we kind of wanted to make this video like a fun video. But since it's really, really requested, we're like, let's just do it. So the next video might just be us shitting
How
the
would
stick.
you guys feel about a mukbang?
Okay, So let us know in the comments down below how you would feel for whatever. You
a
get
freaking
me?
McGriddle, dude.
Yeah. Because I really want to make an ASMR video, guys. Look.
Do your little...
I'm fucking weird. I'm sorry.
All right. So we're just going to...
we already talked too much. Let's just get started.
Yeah,
It's been like 20 minutes.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start off. I've had 2 kids.
You've been talking too much. You're taking over the show.
I want to shine bright.
Okay, go.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys, I did struggle with right? It's infertility.
Infertility. With conceiving.
Conceiving, yeah. I did have... I did struggle conceiving my firstborn. It took us about 5 years. We got married back in 2011. I was pretty like, what's the word? Desesperada. What is that word? Desperate to like get pregnant because everybody around me was getting pregnant. All of my friends were having kids. I felt like my internal clock was ticking and like I just couldn't get pregnant. I would go to doctors here in the United States and they would tell me that I didn't produce enough eggs and that I needed medication to like help me and stuff like that. I went on so many rounds of Clomid. Obviously, I went to the doctor to get checked out. I would tell them what we wanted, that we were ready to start a family, but I wasn't able to get pregnant on my own. And they would, I think I went on like 3 rounds of Clomid here.
Then you said, fuck it, it's too expensive.
Yeah, my insurance was covering it, but still just the like emotional,
like having to go to the doctor again and be like, it didn't work. I think that's just like,
it's freaking so draining and it's so hard and it's so annoying to just keep going back and being like, hey, it didn't work. Hey, like this, it's frustrating. Finally, I was able to get pregnant, but a lot of the times, like my mom would tell me that I had to lose weight because I am, you could say, like morbidly obese, because literally that's what a paper says. So
you're not morbidly obese.
Yes,
what the fuck? Just say chubby.
No, I'm considered.
Your BMI, but did you know, okay, while you're there, I'm going to tell you that I've been researching because obviously I'm pregnant. Obviously I'm pregnant, so I've been researching, and doctors say now, like nowadays, that a lot of hospitals, like they judge you because of your BMI, like when you go in to have kids. Yeah. Okay, well, technically, yes, if your BMI is higher, you do have harder time getting pregnant. But once you are pregnant, you have the same amount of possibilities or whatever.
As a skinny person,
yeah. So they've been like judging all obese moms forever for no fucking reason.
You see? And that's one thing that my doctor told me, like, if you lost weight, yes, it would be a lot easier.
My doctor told me that too.
And I will say that to a point, I do believe that, because in both of my pregnancies, I worked my ass off in the gym. I lost about 30 pounds each time, and I got pregnant like that. So freaking fast. Like, I know that if I want to go get pregnant, just go work out, lose a couple pounds, and bam. You're like, you know, you're going to get pregnant. But it's not like that for everyone.
Not over here.
That was not in Gladys' case, because you tried going to the gym too, and it didn't, like, you weren't able to get pregnant right away.
So when I started trying, Marky and I started trying back in 2017, and when I started trying, I was literally at my highest weight was like over 300 pounds, and that was like bad. So I went to the doctor, and he literally told me, like, you're not going to be able to get pregnant. And obviously I was like so big, so I did want to lose weight, and Marky and I tried so many different diets, and I was getting so frustrated because, like, any other male, he was losing weight and I wasn't, which is so annoying. And at that point, I think I tried like losing weight by myself for like 5 months or so. And I told my dad, I was like, you know what? Because he had always told me no about the gastric surgery. And I told him, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm ready. And I never told anybody why other than Marky.
So is that the reason why you got that?
Marky's the only reason. I mean, Marky's the only one that knows that the reason I got gastric bypass surgery was because I wanted to have a kid.
So how old were you when you got that surgery?
2017. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Take away, I was 20 years old. I was very young.
Yeah.
But I wanted a kid so bad. And I've told everybody this. Like, in my life, all I've ever wanted was to be a mom.
Same.
Like, that's all I wanted. In my life, I feel like I was born to be a mom. And
oh my God, dude. That was like my dream.
Like, that's all I want.
I wanted to get married, be a stay-at-home mom.
Yes. That, you know what? That's still my goal. So, like,
bye.
I mean, sorry, Gabby, if I quit later on. I'm just kidding. But, no, yeah. So that's literally all I've wanted in life was to be a mom. And I don't want to say that I felt more pressured because Marky was older. However, he is older than me. He's 7 years older than me. So at the time, he was 27, which isn't bad. But I was 20. He was 27. But I felt like I was ready. And I think that the fact that I knew that I was going to have a hard time getting pregnant was the reason that I wanted to start so early. If that makes sense. So I got my surgery. I lost over 100 pounds.
Wowza.
Yeah. In 2019, I go to the doctor, and he tells me I have to lose 60 more pounds. And I'm like...
Aside from those 100
Aside
pounds.
from the 100 pounds. And I was like, dude, seriously? And I was like, okay, no, that's crazy. Like, as soon as he told me that, I was like, what the heck? And his words literally were, if you did not get pregnant while losing weight, you're probably not going to get pregnant just like that. Because a lot of people that I know that got the surgery, like, got pregnant while losing weight. A lot of my friends, my aunt, like, I know a lot of people who lost weight, and during losing weight, kind of like the fat around your ovaries loosens up. So that's basically how you get pregnant, because your eggs are starting to move even more.
But that's also dangerous, though. Like, the doctors tell you don't get pregnant, right?
Well, yeah, you can't get pregnant for a year. 18 months. 18 months after your surgery. They get pregnant during.
Oh, shit.
I mean, they've had fine, like, they're fine, but yeah. Okay, so anyways, what did I do? Okay, so yeah. He tells me to lose 60 more pounds, and he also gives me Clomid. He puts me on Clomid and metformin. So metformin's a diabetic pill that they use to lose weight. So I do 3 rounds of Clomid like you. Doesn't work. And then that's when you told me about your friend that did the
pills.
Yes. And the pills from
Across.
Basically they're from Mexico, but they're exactly like the Clomid, right?
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Literally the exact same thing, except they're Mexican.
Because they're called Clomifen or something like that.
Clomifen or something like that.
Something like that. It's basically Clomid, but from Mexico. And I think each box had like 2 for 2.
I think it was for 3 rounds.
For 3 rounds? Okay, so I did 1 box of it. So you're talking about 6 rounds of Clomid, and nothing worked for me. And then at that time, I was literally checking my ovulation like every single time.
I think in all my times of trying to get pregnant, I never I think maybe I checked like one time, but it was so confusing that I didn't even bother.
I did. I was like to the T. And I remember I would like get so frustrated because some months I would ovulate and other months I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so hard. Like my period was very irregular. So I would have my period one month and my period another month I wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
And I think that also had a lot to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, until finally I said, you know what? I'm done trying. And you know what? Like, I would hate it when people would be like, just stop stressing, just stop trying, just stop. I'd always think like, you don't know.
Yeah, because it's frustrating.
You don't know what it's like not to have kids, like not to be able to have kids. You got pregnant. Don't tell me just to relax and don't stress.
Because you don't know how
Because
bad
you don't know.
I want to have a baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would get so mad. But in all honesty, that's what I did. And it worked.
And it's what you literally have to do. It's like that. Like, it happened like that for me too. Everybody and their mother tells you, just stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about it. Literally the moment, it's like your body knows. And once you just like forget about it,
It happens.
you're gonna get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds stupid. And if you're watching this and
I'm
you
sorry.
want to get pregnant and we're telling you like stop, you probably hate us, but literally like just stop. Literally God's timing is everything, and God will give you your baby when he knows is the right time.
Correct. I agree. With you saying God, before I got pregnant, when I decided that I was done, that I literally gave up because I would literally cry so much with Marky. Like, we would lie in bed at night and I would just start crying.
I'm going to pause you.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
You would cry to Marky and you would cry in bed at night.
I still cry today because I am pregnant.
How crazy. Did it make you feel because you couldn't make him a dad?
It hurt, dude. Like, it hurt so bad because I would be in bed crying and I would just be like, I want to be a mom. I want to be a mom. I want to be a mom. And I would never tell him like, because of me, you're never going to be a dad. And he would always tell me like, well, what if it's me? Mm-hmm. And deep down, I knew it wasn't him. And my
Did he ever go get checked?
We got the what's it called? The receta, like
the prescription?
The prescription to go so that he can get checked. And so it wasn't him, obviously.
Hello.
But we did get that. But yes, I would lay down and I would cry to him and he would just tell me like, when our time is right, it'll come. And I would just tell him like, it's because you don't know like how bad I want to be a mom. Mm-hmm. And he would say like, our time will come. And he never really like, he wanted a baby so bad. Mm-hmm. And he would tell me, and we would be out and I knew he wanted one because we would see kids and he'd be like, we see like a little chubby little kid and he'd be like, that's going to be our kid. Mm-hmm. Or like somebody like messing around, cagando el palo, because you know how crazy he is. And he's going to be like, and he's always like, that's going to be our kid.
Yeah.
So it was hard not being like feeling that way, because I did feel that way. Like I did feel, and not only that, like for my parents and my grandparents, like my parents and my suegros, like I felt like it was time to have another kid. You know what I mean? But at the same time, did I really want to get pregnant when we went through with everything that we went through with Jojo? Mm-hmm. And that is why I say God's timing is the perfect timing, because I can tell you that if I would have been pregnant while I went through everything that I went through with him, I probably would have had a miscarriage with stress within itself. Mm-hmm. And I would have hated to go through that.
I think that's a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that towards my parents. I was already 23 and I still couldn't get pregnant. And I would tell myself like, my parents aren't getting any younger, so I need to figure out a way to like get pregnant like yesterday.
That's how I felt with my in-laws, literally.
Well, yeah, they're like about the same age as my parents are. And
not that my parents are getting any younger either, but sorry, Mom.
Yeah, I know. when my parents found out that I was pregnant with Grecia, like they were over the moon.
If you saw my video, my suegra was just
dude, yeah, she made me cry.
She was just, my mom too, like everybody. I think it was the perfect time for me to get pregnant. Like I said, it was just a perfect timing. So going back to that, we for some reason, I don't know why, it wasn't like a regular church, because we do go to church sometimes on Sundays, but this was I don't remember if we were there for a baptism, funeral, or what. I don't remember. I did go to church, and I remember sitting in the pew, and I literally stared at the cross. I ignored, like I felt like it was literally just me and God, and I was just talking to him in my head, of course, and everything around me was like, I wasn't paying attention to what the priest was saying, which you shouldn't do that, but I was talking to God at that moment, and I literally looked him like in the eyes, like of the cross, because obviously he's there. And I told him, I was like, you know what, from this day forward, I leave it in your hands. Like, if I get pregnant, I get pregnant, and if I don't, I don't. I'm done trying. I'm gonna give everything and give myself to you, and the baby that you give me, whenever you want to give it to me, you give it to me.
Yeah.
Not even 3 months later, I was pregnant. I literally gave up. Right then and there, I gave it. I didn't give up, but I gave it to him.
Yeah. One of the questions we received was if we know of an at-home fertility test, or like what kind of questions we can ask, like, or what kind of questions you can ask your gyno in case you are having trouble getting pregnant. And pretty much for me, I literally just walked in there and I was like, I need help getting pregnant. Like, what's wrong with me? Check me from head to toe. Like, why can't I do it?
Okay, so I did go with my gyno. I had a lot of appointments. My first appointments, like I told you, he did tell me I had to lose weight. I went after that, and they weren't consecutive. He would tell me he wanted to see me every 3 months, and every time my Clomid would fail. And after the third round of Clomid from here, we did a sonogram on my ovaries, and I was diagnosed with PCOS. And then from there, I kind of got discouraged. Like, after he told me, you do have PCOS, it's going to be very hard for you to get pregnant, blah, 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 blah. I kind of like didn't want to go back to the doctor.
Like, you were discouraged?
Yeah. I was just like, you know what? Like, no. And then he was like, I want to see you back in 3 months, because did he give me another round of Clomid? It was 2 rounds of Clomid, got diagnosed with PCOS, and then he gave me another round of Clomid. But it wasn't Clomid. It was like something stronger. And that didn't work either. And after that, he was like, all right, let's start looking into IVF, because that's basically the point that we thought we were going to get to, that I needed IVF in order to conceive. I didn't think I was going to be able to get pregnant without IVF.
How did you feel going into, or like going towards IVF? Like, the cost, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot that you were going to have to go through.
It is a lot. It's a lot of testing. It's a lot of blood work. It's a lot of money within itself. And I remember, like, Marky would tell me, like, whatever it is, I'll give anything just to have a kid. Like, we would talk about it all the time, and I would tell him, like, we're probably gonna have to go through IVF. And you know, it took me forever to set up my appointment with IVF. I would call the fertility specialist in San Antonio, and I'd ask them for information. And
little did you know you were already pregnant and you were trying to set up these appointments.
Well, this was before. Like, I would call them and just be like, hey, like, okay, well, I want to know some information. Be like, okay, well, these are the steps. Okay, I'll call you guys back. And I would never call them back. It wasn't until, like, I think it was like the third time that I called them that I finally told Marky, like, okay, you know what? Let's do it. And I don't know what it was, but it was holding me back. I don't know if I don't want to say it was fear, or I don't know. I just didn't want to, I guess I didn't want to face it. Like, it's hard to think that I'm going to get pregnant through IVF.
Yeah.
Like, it's difficult. So.
Yeah, that's hard. What do you feel like? Did you think once you found out you were pregnant, you didn't announce it like on a special holiday and stuff? How did you feel every month? Like, were you that girl that wanted to like announce on a holiday?
I was that girl.
I was that girl.
I was that girl.
I announced Lucia on Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving Day.
And I found out back in October. Like, I knew in October, and I waited until almost the end of November to announce that I was pregnant with her. All because I wanted to announce on a holiday.
So you waited all to Thanksgiving just to announce?
Only to put that I was thankful.
Oh, that warms my heart.
For my family.
I very much did. I was that person that, like, I don't want to sound weird, but it's the truth. Like, 2019, let's talk about 2020. So 2020 is coming around. Thanksgiving's coming up, and I'm like wishing, or actually no, my dad's birthday is in November.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna cry.
Go ahead and cry.
Okay. I don't want to cry.
Just we have toilet paper.
Okay, so my mom's gonna get mad at me, but she's gonna hate.
Why?
Because she's gonna be jealous. But I always I don't know, like,
You're daddy's little girl.
I don't want to say that I'm sorry.
Stop, you're gonna make me cry.
I know that this isn't the case, of course, but I always had it in the back of my mind that if I wouldn't be able to get pregnant, not only am I letting Marky down, but I don't know why I always felt like I would let him down. Like,
does he know that?
No, of course not. But, and he's never forced me. He's never asked me for a grandkid. He's never been the one. Honestly, Marky's parents or Marky's dad was always the one to be like, ¿Y cuándo me vas a dar un chiquitito or whatever? But
it was never your
my dad never, he would never tell me. And he would just say stuff like every now and then, and would be like, al rato vamos a tener una gordita or un gordito aquí or whatever. But I always felt like, of course, everybody's going to have a grandkid. But with my dad, it's just like, I don't know, different. And I always felt that I wanted to give him I don't know, like a grandkid. Why him? I don't know. It's just how I feel, I guess, because like you say, I'm daddy's little girl.
Yeah.
So it was super hard for me. So I always, anyways, going back, I always dreamt of telling him on his birthday. And his birthday is November 8th. So for the year of 2018 and 2019, I remember I wished I could be pregnant, like find out in October so that November 8th I can go and I can tell him, like, look, Dad, I'm pregnant. And I always thought about like making him a photo album of like me and him, and then having like the sonogram, or making like a slideshow of me and him, like daddy's little girl, and then showing him the sonogram at the end of the slideshow. I would, after that, like, it wouldn't happen, and I'd be like, okay, well, maybe Thanksgiving, maybe on Christmas, New Year's would roll around, and it never happened. And I would always wish that it was on a holiday. Always, always, always. Until 2020, on New Year's, I remember we were all standing in my dad's kitchen, and we all poured. My dad is not a tequila drinker. And we all poured a shot of tequila, and we all went around saying, like, manifesting something for the year. And I literally bawled while I said it. Like, I was crying. You couldn't even understand what I was saying. But I remember I looked like straight at him, and I told him that this year I was going to get pregnant.
Why are you doing that to me?
I don't know. I'm just so emotional. I wasn't supposed to cry today. But I remember I looked straight at him, and we all had our shot glasses up, and I was the last one. And I literally looked at him and I was like, this year I'm going to get pregnant. And he was like, okay. Like, he looked at me like he was just like, okay. And I remember the whole year passed and I kind of forgot about it. I was already working with you, and I would tell you, like, I think I'm going to go see, I would tell you that I was going to go to the specialist, and I never went. And I never went. And then come September, and I'm like, what the heck? It's September. I have October, November, and December, and I'm still not pregnant. Like, I said in New Year's I was going to get pregnant, and I'm not pregnant. What the heck? And
like, there goes another year wasted.
There goes another year wasted. And then October rolls around, and Miss Brujita over here has a dream.
Yeah.
She has a dream that you were, or what was
no, heck no.
No, but you had a dream that you were pregnant? Because you said that.
It was me or somebody.
You said every time that I dream of somebody in my family that's pregnant, somebody around me gets pregnant. Or how?
I don't even remember who it was, dude. But I know that, like, I'll know if I have that dream. But I know, like, if I have a dream, somebody around me is gonna, like, say, hey, I'm pregnant. And I remember having it and telling her, I was like, one of you guys at work is gonna freaking come and tell me that y'all are pregnant, because it's not me. Like, Lord knows, I'm not trying. And I told her, like, it's gonna be you.
She was so
like,
mad.
no, shut up. No, it's not. Like, I can't even get pregnant.
And I remember not even 2 weeks later, Ashley told me, she was like, you're gonna get pregnant. And I literally fucking
told her off,
bounced at her. Like, it's because you go through all these stages of
frustration,
anger, grief, and we'll get into that in a little bit, I guess. But you just go through so much. And I remember I go
through all the emotions.
I jumped at her and I was like, I'm not gonna get pregnant. Like,
you don't
I was
even know.
So mad. Yeah. And then I make my appointment because of my insurance. In order to get seen by the fertility specialist, I had to make an appointment to see my physician here in Zapata. And I made an appointment with her. She doesn't even know what I was going to ask her for, but I was going to ask her for the referral to go to the specialist. And my appointment was supposed to be the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. They decided to close Wednesday and Thursday instead of just Thursday. And I remember being like, oh, like, whatever, what's one more weekend? You know what I mean? Like, they rescheduled me for Monday. So what? I've waited so long for this. It's not going to be a big deal. Next day's Thanksgiving. I wake up and I told Marky, let's go. No, Marky had bought me a bottle. I was craving Malibu so bad. Like, I wanted, I know it sounds bad, but I wanted a Malibu drink with pineapple. And I was like, I was so ready. Like, I remember getting up that morning and being like,
I'm gonna pour me a drink.
Yes, I was so ready. I was like, I already want it to be nighttime because I don't like to drink. I can't drink when I eat. Like, either I eat or I drink. I can't do both. So I was like, I already want it to be the afternoon so we can already get it over with, have lunch, and I can go drink. And he was like, at this point, I had my period in July. I didn't get my period September, which is normal. I didn't get my period in October, which to me was normal. And I didn't have my period in November. And
how did you get pregnant?
Thank you. I don't know. It's a freaking miracle that I'm pregnant right now. My doctor too, whenever I went to my first appointment, he was like, you didn't get your period in September? No. He was like, so when did you conceive? I was like, I don't know. You tell me. I couldn't figure it out. I thought it was freaking 16 weeks when I went to go see him. I was barely 9 weeks, my first appointment.
Oh, shit, dude. Talk about heaven sent.
For real. I was ovulating without my period. Like, what is that? And I would get my period and not ovulate. Literally, that's why I say, like, this child is a miracle from God.
Yeah, literally.
I'm ready to drink. Didn't get my periods. So Marky that morning, he's like, well, you're not drinking if you don't take a pregnancy test. And I'm like, I'm not pregnant. And he was like, well, you still need to take a test. And I was like, I'm not going to take a test. I'm not pregnant. I know it's going to be negative. And I was so mad at him. Like, I was pissed. And he was like, I'm not going to let you drink. So we're on our way to his mom's. He's still telling me to freaking buy a pregnancy test. I turned super mad into CVS. I get off. I get a pregnancy test. And we head to his parents. We have lunch. And then he's like, take it. And I'm like, dude, calm down. I'm not going to take it here. And he's like, just put it in your purse. Go to the restroom and take it. And I'm like, no. And then finally, I'm like, okay, fine. I have to pee. And I'm like, I'm going to go take it. So I pull down my pants. I pee on the stick. Usually, like when I would take my pregnancy test, it would take like 15 minutes to tell me no, 10 minutes.
And bam.
This didn't even take 2 seconds. Yeah. And it was 2 lines. And I remember I hadn't even finished putting up my pants yet. And I was looking at it and it was already positive. And I was like, literally, I was like shaking. Like I didn't know how to react. I couldn't believe it. And so I opened the door to the restroom. Mind you, my pants are still at my knees. I opened the door to the restroom and I'm like, babe, come. And he's in the living room and I closed the door and it felt like 2 freaking minutes, but he said it was like 5 seconds. Like he had barely like gotten up from the couch. Yeah. And I opened the door and again and I'm like, babe, come. And I slammed the door again. I put on my pants. I tie them up and he opens the door and I'm literally like, shaking, showing him like he's like he grabs it from my hands and he sees it and he's like, and he looks at me and I just start bawling, but I'm not crying like I was so happy, but I was crying like if somebody died. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like I was like so happy to the point that my mother-in-law like runs over here. Cassie runs to the restroom.
And you didn't tell them?
Yes, my niece, Marky's niece runs because Kayla was there too, and they run and they're like, "What's wrong? What happened?" Everybody thought I fell. I literally nobody knew I was taking a test, just Marky. I show the test to my mother-in-law, and she literally falls to her knees, like she's holding onto the rails of the restroom, and she falls to her knees, and she just starts crying, and she's praying, and we're all just crying. And my suegro, the whole time he's in the sala, he doesn't know what the heck's going on. Later on, he gets up and he comes and we're all celebrating. We're all super happy. And I told Marky, like, let's go. And he's like, where are we going? I was like, I have to tell my mom. Like, I have to tell my mom. I have to go tell my dad. And I call my mom and she's at my aunt's and I call her and I'm like, Mom, where are you? And she's like, I'm at my aunt's. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, we're about to eat. And I was like, never mind. Like, how am I going to tell her, come now? She would have known. Like, if she would have been there, she's like, I have to go. Gladys needs me. My whole family would have been like, what happened? And at that moment, I didn't know how far along I was. So I didn't want people knowing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You waited.
I waited. So I go to my dad's and I guess we can insert the little clip here, huh?
Yeah, you just send it to me.
I go to my dad's and I tell them that I'm pregnant and everybody's celebrating. And that is why I say it's all in God's timing, because I prayed to announce on a holiday and I did. I found out on Thanksgiving and I was able to tell my family in Thanksgiving, and that's all I wanted. I wanted to tell them so bad on a holiday.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I mean, I probably did, but I don't remember it
like happening that way. Yeah. Like if you think about it, I prayed so much for it to happen on a holiday and it happened even better. Like I found out on a holiday. Yeah. So God's timing is always the perfect
literally
timing.
Perfect. Okay. You know what's annoying?
What?
We're changing the subject. When people start asking you, like you just got married and they're already shoving so when are you going to have a baby?
I'm not married, but so many people would always ask us. Even the when are you getting married question, so annoying. But when are you going to have a kid? When are you going to get married? And don't ask.
It's like, how many kids do you have? Like that question irks me so much.
Because you don't know what to answer.
I don't know what to, like, the other day I was at the doctor. I was getting a checkup for my back and they're like, so how many kids do you have? And I was like, 1. And then they go on to ask, like, how many surgeries have you had? And I was like, 2. I've had 2 cesareans. And they're like, but the girl turned around. She goes, but you have 1 kid. And I was like, no, I've had 2 babies. but I only have one living child. So, like, am I supposed to say I have 2 kids? Or
That's totally up to you.
that's crazy.
I feel like it's so hard, and that is why it's so sad, because you know that people don't mean it like in a mean way.
Yeah, of course.
But at the same time, it's like, mind your business.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, at the beginning, I would just tell everybody, like, oh, I'm waiting to finish school. And from waiting to finish school, after a couple of months, once I found out, like,
I remember at one point I would just say, like, we don't want kids, because
like, straight
it
up,
wasn't happening. Yeah.
I would tell them we were trying. And then from there, I remember being at work one time when I would work at the school, and somebody asked me, and I would literally looked at her and I was like, I can't have kids. And she just, her face, like, she kind of went from like, so when are you having kids? And I was like, she just took it back. And it's like, you go, like I said earlier, you go through the phases of frustration and anger and grief, and you just react in so many ways. And it's not like I want to react that way, but that's just at that moment, pobrecita ella, because I basically took it out on her. But
yeah,
it's so hard when you're trying so hard to have a kid, and they keep asking you, when are you going to have a kid? And when are you going to have a kid?
And that also doesn't help the whole, like, stop thinking about it, because you're literally always getting asked that question. And there's really no way around it. Like, you can't be like, don't ask me, because they're going to be like, well, what, like, ¿y tú qué? Like, you know?
¿Qué te cala tanto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Like, it's a very, like, touchy subject. It's hard to be asked, when are you getting pregnant? How many kids do you want? How many kids do you have?
When are you going to get married?
Yeah, like, those questions I feel are very just, don't ask those questions.
Yeah. And I know that they come out of good, like, it's with a conversation starter, and they come out, like, with good intention, of course, but sometimes it's just like, stop.
They're just triggers, and it's okay to get mad.
I remember whenever my friends would find out, when my friends would announce that they were pregnant, oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. It would hurt. Like, shit, like, why her and not me? You know what I mean? Or even just random people, like, not just my friends, but like Facebook announcement, like, oh, look, here's another one.
Mothers who mistreat their kids.
Oh my gosh. You know, I was so triggered by a post that I read. No. It wasn't a post. Yeah, it was a news post that a mother literally, it was like a while back, that she murdered her kid or something. And it literally breaks my heart, because I am trying my hardest. I'm giving it my all to have a kid, and you are sacrificing your kid. You're killing your kid because you don't want him. Like, and I get it. Everybody goes through stuff, and I only God can judge her, and pobrecita ella, but it hurts. Like, it just triggers something in you, and you're like, you're seriously doing this, and
here I am struggling.
It's just so hard. And then again, I know people who can't get pregnant, and me announcing it made me feel so guilty.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't. I remember one of my friends has been trying probably longer than I have, or maybe just as long. And when I got pregnant, I literally, when I announced my pregnancy, I literally reached out to her, and I sent her like a little, the day I found out I was pregnant, I found a picture, and it was God holding like a uterus. And I sent it to her, and I just wrote her like this long paragraph. And I'm not going to go into detail about what I said, but it felt, I don't want to say I felt guilty, because I was so happy, but at the same time, my heart hurt
for her,
because I know that she's still trying. And a lot of you are coming and telling us that you're trying, and I don't want to say that I don't feel bad for you, but I have so much hope for you now.
Yes.
Because I went through it, and I know what it's like not to be able to get pregnant. And honestly, I've known people who have gone through IVF. I've known people who have gone through adoptions, and there's always a way. But God's way is the best way. So you have to stay positive, and you have to stay open-minded. Yes, keep your faith. And like we said, like, I'm so sorry that I'm telling you to give up, but literally give up. Like, leave it to God. Leave it in his hands. And I promise you, you will get pregnant whenever he wants you to get pregnant. And
we don't have the answers.
We do not have the answers. We are not doctors. I cannot tell you I can tell you to go get checked and talk to your OB and make a plan. And if you want to go see a specialist, go for it and get these tests done. But in all honesty, you don't have to.
God will provide.
For sure. And you know what? There are people who have to go that extra mile and get IVF. But there are people who literally cannot have kids because they don't have ovaries. And for them, ovaries, they don't have. Well, yeah, ovaries too, because you can get them like surgically removed, unfortunately, for many reasons. But people who don't produce eggs, they have to go through surrogacy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if that's God's way of giving you a child, then we're all for it. Like, yeah. And I feel bad for those who feel that they'll be judged for it.
I don't think so. I mean,
I personally would not judge anybody that went through that, but I don't know if it's because I went through it. Yeah. But there are a lot of people who feel like, oh, I don't want to adopt because I don't want to be judged, or I don't want to.
I would love to adopt.
I think I would tell Marky that if we had to adopt, I would.
I would love to adopt because I'm scared to have another kid.
Would you adopt?
I would adopt. It's hard because I know you have to be like well off and stuff. And I don't know if they'd freaking be like, oh yeah, here.
Oh, here, kid, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's that easy.
But I would love for Grecia to have another sibling. Like a baby who doesn't have a home can have a home with me, and I'll love it. And I'll take care of it.
You know, I used to feel that way. When people would when I would find out that people would leave their kids with their tias or their moms or whatever. Because I used to work at the school and you hear a lot of stories. It's just so sad what some of these kids go through. And
just give me your kids.
I remember thinking that. Like, if you don't want him, give him to me. I'll take him.
Yeah. I wish somebody would just...
I'll take him for you. And you don't even have to pay me child support. Like,
just give me your kid.
Yeah, just give him to me.
Oh, weirdos.
I care for him for you.
But yeah, there's so many kids out there that need a loving home, and I would love to do that for one kid.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, maybe in the future.
I feel like you're still young. We are both very young, and our clock is still ticking. I don't think we're...
Oh, yeah, but my clock up here needs some work.
Ma'am, we all need a little bit of work up there.
We need a little Gemini therapy.
We need a lot of therapy, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's why we started this. Shout out to Gemini Therapy for being our counselors.
It's our escape. I honestly feel so much better like talking on here.
From the last video or like in general?
No, just in general.
It's pretty cool. You took 5 years in your special way. I took 5 years in my way. I've known people who have taken 10, 8 years and have gone through IVF and have done this and that. It doesn't matter. You can take 2 months to get pregnant. The amount of time that it takes you to get pregnant doesn't matter. If you feel that you're taking long and it hurts you, your feelings are valid. And that's something that's very important to know, because somebody made a comment to me like, oh, but they only took 2 years to get pregnant. And if those 2 years felt like the longest years of their life, let them feel that. Yeah. Like, it hurts just as much for somebody who takes 10 years. Right. Because the whole time, all you're doing is hoping and wishing for a baby. Yeah. So whether it takes you 2 years, 1 year, 2 months, 10 years, your feelings matter and your feelings are valid. And that is literally the point of why we're here.
We need a sign that says you're valid.
Yeah. Literally, your feelings matter.
Yes.
For sure.
You're a freaking person.
Yeah. And I catch myself a lot of the times also, like, I don't want to say, like, how do I say it?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, no, just crop it out. Fuck it.
All right, guys. So we really hope that you guys got something from this video. Pretty much what we're trying to say is, if it's not your time, don't give up. Like, give up, but don't give up. Put it in God's hands and he will provide.
For sure.
Always.
For sure. He always comes through, and
just pray on it, leave it in his hands, and in his time, you will soon have your own little baby.
God's plan is, God knows
the plan.
Yes, God knows everything that's going to happen before we do. So his plan is literally the best plan, and just give your faith to God and give it all to him, and he will definitely bless you with a little miracle. So
yeah,
I wasn't planning on crying today, but I don't know why. There's just something about my dad, dude. That guy always makes me cry.
I know. My dad was a special man to me too.
Can't talk about him. It's hard.
And it was crazy how that, like, your dad had something to do with that. All I ever wished for was to have a baby on my dad's birthday, and I was able to do that.
That's so crazy.
I had Lucia on, like, they share a birthday the same day.
And now they're together.
They're together in heaven.
That's so special.
Yes. So
alrighty, guys. So you know what? Next video, we're not gonna cry. Promising from right now, we're gonna be shitting the stick and having fun and talking about. Damn, I look rough.
It's a Monday afternoon.
What the heck? I look so ugly. Oh my gosh.
I just got out of the gym. I probably smell. I'm so sorry.
Guys, remember, Gemini Therapy is a non-judging zone, okay?
Yeah,
don't judge the way I look, please.
No, ma'am.
There's no room for judging.
None of that.
But like I was saying, next video, we're hoping to talk smack about our guys. Tune in for all the stuff that they do that pisses us off.
Leave your comments of what your man does that pisses you off.
Yes, so that we can go through them.
Yes.
Or maybe we'll run a poll. Leave them down below,
Instagram.
but we'll also put a poll on Instagram, or like to send it in. Because there's some things that those guys do you just can't. And you know what? If they were sitting here right now, they'd be like, nah.
For sure.
And we talked about it. They're down.
Yeah.
They're totally down. Let us know if you'd like to see a video with us for sitting down, me, Marky, Lynn, and Bert. It would be a good one.
Dude, oh my gosh.
They would take out trapitos on us.
I know. All right. So we're about to hit an hour. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.